NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks select Trae Young.
The Hawks and the Mavericks have an agreement.
Oh, what a finish by Trae Young. Fires one more dagger.
Straight away, free, good!
He's into the sheet.
How did he do it?
Here comes Luka.
Both Luka Doncic and Trae Young have put up big numbers to start their NBA careers, but Luka has the edge in points per game, rebounds per game, and has helped lead his team to a better record through 3 seasons. But Trae has emerged as a superstar this postseason, leading the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now some are questioning who would be the better player to start a franchise with. Now, Perk, I have a feeling who you're going to choose just based on your opinions in the past, but who would you start a franchise with, Luka Doncic or Trae Young?
Oh, me? We start with me? I'm going with Luka.
Oh, no, I said Perk.
I thought you said Perk. Yeah, go ahead, Perk.
No, go ahead, Dominique. I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a tough decision because they both are great, and I think Trae Young right now is my favorite player to watch, mostly because he does the ice tray and because he bowed in Madison Square Garden. He got all the attitude that I want in my best player. But I'm going to go with Luka in large part because of NBA history. Like, he's a big guy who can play the point guard position, and that's what tends to win. It's not necessarily big guys that can play point guard position, but when your best player on the team is a big dude over 6'5", that's what wins championships in this league. That's the history. It's hard to argue against anything that Trae Young is doing and how deep they've made it into the playoffs this year. He's obviously doing better in the playoffs than Luka's ever done. But the first 3 years of Luka's career, he's been playing like a very mature veteran. I don't know if that's how he behaves in the locker room or around the team. That's a whole nother conversation. But on the court, he seems to make most of the right decisions. He seems comfortable in all these situations. He needs to get better on defense, obviously, but he's a big guy who can get his shot off at any moment. And that's why I would go with him, because there's really very little. We showed the stats. There's very little difference statistically in what you're going to get from either of these point guards. So I defer to size, which might be a bit of a weak argument, but I don't know where else to go with this one, Perk.
Well, I'm going to tell you where I'm going with it. If I'm a GM and I'm starting a franchise, I'm taking Ice Trae. You know why? Because I know one thing, I'm going to keep my job. I'm not going to walk away or get fired or let go. See, right now what's going on in Dallas, we don't know what's going on. The coaches is walking away, the general managers, the front offices. It's a disaster over there. And that goes to show me that something is going on in that locker room with their star player. When it comes down to Ice Trae, I'm looking at what he's doing and how he's doing it. Not only is he's getting buckets, but it looks like to me, guys love playing with him. I can't say the same for Luka. Porzingis look highly upset. Josh Richardson looks highly upset. Like, the difference between the two is that Trae could get others involved, and he could take a back seat and let others rock out. When I watch Luka, Luka has the ball in his hands 20 of the 24 seconds of the shot clock, and then he's passing the ball to a teammate and putting them in a bad position and saying, just catch and shoot. Trae Young, it feels like it's a joy to play with him. Yeah. So I'm going with Trae Young. Right now, what he's doing and got the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm a GM, I'm keeping my job because he embraces the role of winning and team guy. He's a team guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trae Young has a different head coach now than he did at the beginning of the season. So I don't know how secure your job will be if you're there with Trae Young either. But I do understand everything you're saying. And you left out my man from University of Maryland, old Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter, who can cook too. They give him the ball and let him work. So I'm with you on all of that. But I think the difference is Luka holds the ball because they don't have those guys. Like, Porzingis is not the player that he was. I guess Hardaway is the guy you would want to give, but Hardaway is not the player that they have down in Atlanta. So I think that's what it boils down to. Maybe Porzingis in another situation will be different. Neither of us know. Maybe he'll be in a situation, maybe no matter what, he'll always play like James Harden did in Houston. But we see that James Harden has found another way to play with the Nets. So I'm thinking that Luka can do that in the right situation with the right players around him. That's all.
Well, you talked about big guards, and you talked about, you got to be over 6'5", and that's what's going to win you games and keep your franchise above water. Did Steph Curry die? because last time I checked, he's only about 6'2". Okay, so when I look at Trae Young, he's also a guy that's a smaller guard, but he's a level scorer. Anytime you have to make an adjustment of sending two guys to trap a guy and it's not in the pick and roll coverage, that means you have something special.
Yeah, we'll talk about something special. Young has started each series this postseason, averaging 38.3 points per game in the 3-game ones.
Did someone say first take in the afternoon?
You want some of this?
Wait, I get to battle Stephen A. in the midday?
You want some of this?
Cutting it close to your bedtime. You gonna be okay?
Slip into me, kid, then you gone.
Guys, save it for Wednesday and Thursday. That's right, 2 afternoon special editions of First Take starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern only on ESPN. Don't miss it.
Who doesn't want more First Take? Come on now. Welcome back to First Take, coming to you live from the Seaport District in New York City on this beautiful day, brought to you by Chase. And this morning, the knockout round at the Euros continues with Croatia taking on Spain. Our coverage starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, with a noon kickoff. Then it's France squaring off against the Swiss. Both games are on ESPN and the app. One app, one tap, so you can watch anywhere. All right, last night, another head coaching vacancy was filled with the Trailblazers announcing the hire of Chauncey Billups. Now, according to sources of our Adrian Wojnarowski, the deal is for 5 years with the former LA Clippers assistant that includes a team option on the last season. Now, Billups had an illustrious career in the NBA, winning the 2004 NBA title with the Pistons in the Finals MVP award. A 5-time All-Star, he's the only player with a winning record against Michael Jordan, Kobe, and also LeBron. Now, along with Billups' hire, Jason Kidd was named the head coach of the Mavericks last Thursday. Now, both have amazing resumes. However, off-court issues have led to questions surrounding their hires. In 2001, Kidd was arrested for suspicion of hitting his wife and pleaded guilty to spousal abuse. Then in 2012, he also pleaded guilty to a DUI. Billups, on the other hand, settled a civil case in 1997 when a woman alleged that he and his former teammate Ron Mercer raped her. Criminal charges were never filed, but according to police reports, a rape kit examination displayed injuries consistent with sexual assault. The Blazers have looked into the matter again before hiring Billups, and they were able to not really draw up anything new. But Perk, you got to look at all of these factors. Are these hires a bad look for the league, would you say?
No, it's not. You know what's a bad look in the NBA to be writing these articles at this time. That's what's a bad look, because guess what? When Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups, when they were the product and they were put on the shelves and they were selling out and they were making money and they were around here delivering championships and making all-star games and selling out jerseys and signing autographs, everything was all fine and dandy when you were the product. Now all of a sudden, when 2 African Americans have learned from their mistakes, and when I'm talking about Jason Kidd, he learned from his mistakes. He had 2 head coaching hires since then. He was an assistant coach with the Los Angeles Lakers, won a championship. Nothing was said. This man has changed his life. Rick Carlisle endorsed him. Dirk Nowitzki endorsed him. Not a word was said. And when you look at what Chauncey Billups has done, all right, finished his a hell of a career, assistant under Ty Lue, worked on our network at ESPN and was a hell of a commentator.